Good afternoon, dear viewers. My name is Lukas Welk, and together with my co-authors, I want to welcome you to the poster presentation about the topic, the gender yield gap in women's empowerment, evidence from smallholder farmers in Uganda's central region. The research was carried out within a project led by IFPRI called Reaching Smallholder Women with Information Services and Resilience Strategies to Respond to Climate Change in Uganda, Kenya, and India. In the frame of this project, a holistic quantitative household survey was conducted in the central region of Uganda. This study is based on the quantitative data obtained from that survey. Our goal was to identify the determinants of the gender yield gap and how women empowerment influences it. The approaches we chose are firstly the abbreviated Women Empowerment in Agriculture Index, secondly the examination of a yield gap in the dataset and descriptive statistics, and finally, to examine the influence of women empowerment and other variables on the yield gap using either the Kitagawa-Oaxaca blinder decomposition or an OLS regression model. On this slide, I briefly want to present you the IFPRI results. On the left side, you can see a table of the IFPRI indexes results. And here we can see that there's a clear difference in disempowerment between women and men, and also in the 5DE index. The 5DE index contains 6 indicators, which you can see in the graph on the right side, and you can also see that workload is the most dominant indicator, contributing the most to disempowerment between men and women. We can also see that there's a gap in gender parity, since 48% of the women do not have gender parity. This slide you can see are different approaches estimating the yield gap. For instance, we tried the total yield value per hectare, which we found significant. The total yield value per hectare for annual crops, cash crops, and staple crops, where annual crops and staple crops were significant as well. However, women produced more banana and coffee. So our preliminary results are that there's a clear gap in gender parity and a disempowerment between men and women, especially for the main workload. And there's significantly higher yield value per hectare for men for all crops, staple crops, and annual crops. Regarding cash crops, women produce significantly more for coffee in yield in average. Our next steps will be to test the relationship of yield gap and empowerment indicators and other potential determinant variables, and then to build an Oaxaca blinder decomposition model or an OLS model. Thank you for your attention. That was all from my side.